This is the Redcat Ascent standard truck, and then this is the brand new Redcat Ascent Fusion, the factory upgrade optioned version. In this video, we're going to be talking about which one of these two is probably the better choice for you to buy. As you may expect, price is a very big factor for most people, and maybe for you also, as you're trying to get into crawling or considering buying one of these two trucks. And the standard Redcat Ascent comes in at $299, which is a staggeringly good deal. Puts it at a fraction of a price of a lot of its competition, and has performance that goes out and beyond that. So that is honestly, $299 is a great deal. The Fusion version comes in at $399, so it is $100 more than this one. Now, what we're going to talk about as we go through is it worth it to spend that extra $100 versus getting this truck? But price makes the choice for so many people who are looking to pinch every individual penny. So for category number one, price, clearly the standard Ascent does win that one. But then we get into what are you actually getting for your extra $100 over here with the Fusion? And the answer is, you're going to get a lot. And so let's go through that. The first thing compared to the standard truck is you are getting a carbon fiber chassis. Now, I have upgraded this standard Ascent over here on this side with the DSM off-road chassis. This carbon fiber chassis from DSM Off-Road is $100. So just upgrading the carbon fiber chassis basically negates the whole price difference between these two trucks. But it may not be worth that $100 from a performance standpoint to you. So let's keep looking at it. The second and one of the biggest deals that you get in here is this Hobbywing 2-in-1. This is basically a ready-to-run version of their Fusion SE 1800 kV motor. This motor alone as an upgrade is $80. If you're going to buy this, if you buy this standard Redcat Ascent that comes with a brushed setup, which works fine, but maybe the ESC control is not perfect, maybe all that is not maybe the best, you're going to most likely put this Fusion SE or something similar to it. I put this Furatech Outrunner system in this one. This motor alone is $80. So again, just this piece alone, you're already making up a big chunk of the price difference between these two. The other parts on here are a little bit smaller. It does come with brass outer portal covers on both sides of the front axle. Those are somewhere in the neighborhood of $40, depending on which brand you get. And then these are coming with different springs, actually. So these front springs are something more akin to the Losi Mini T spring versus what was included in the original Ascent suspension. And you're probably going to spend somewhere around $12 for that. There's a couple other little small tweaks that you get with the Fusion, but those are the main differences. And just that alone is $240 worth of retail value parts that you're getting on this truck that you didn't get on the $100 cheaper truck. The third thing that obviously comes with this is performance. Now that you're paying this extra $100 for this truck, are you getting actually better performance than the standard truck? And I can say unequivocally, yes. The front rear weight balance, the overdrive that's already installed, the brass, the motor and ESC, it will perform better than this truck straight out of the box. I can't show you that now today because I've already done all the modifications to this truck. So these are completely different at this point. But if you do humor me, I'm happy to go out and drive back to back these two trucks across a couple little obstacles here to show you just how different these trucks are. Now, I just took a pause and did the math, and I don't recommend that you actually do this with your hobby. But I just did the math of all the different parts that I've put on this truck, from the motor and ESC to the Trial wheels to the Injora inserts to the Trial brass on the front here and all this kind of stuff. I just added all that up, and it's a little shy of $400 additional dollars. So this $299 truck, I've put something like $400 into it. So as we go out to drive these back to back, $399 versus $699. $399, $699. Keep that in mind as we go out and drive this. Okay, so maybe there's a couple places out there where my more modified truck was a little more stable, a little more predictable going up and over some of those obstacles. But at the end of the day, this Fusion did 99% or more of what this truck did with no fuss, no questions asked, anything. Lightweight, just did it really, really well. So performance, this thing I would say definitely outperforms the Fusion, definitely outperforms the standard Ascent. Of course, once you start modifying it, then all games are off. But a lot of the modifications that I did to this truck, of course, will also apply to this one. That's the magic of it. So for me, the choice is pretty clear. I think for most people getting into crawlers, going ahead and spending the extra $100 to get the Fusion is a no-brainer. I think if you're looking to get an Ascent, the standard version is good. There is no doubt about it. It is one of the best ready-to-run crawlers you can get on the market today. They did just usurp it a little bit with this. They did do a one-up on it. This Fusion legitimately is better than this thing was stock. Even if all you consider is just the motor alone and the outer front brass portal covers, that's more than the price difference. Just right there is more than the price difference. But then you still get the carbon fiber chassis alongside it. It just makes sense to get the Fusion. Except, unless, the only time that the regular Ascent, I believe, truly is the better option is if you want the DSM off-road chassis, you don't want this carbon fiber chassis. If you don't like the Hobbywing 2-in-1 Fusion for whatever reason and you want to put a different system in it, then if you're looking to go ahead and make the Ascent your own with your own modifications, a different chassis completely, and you don't like that Hobbywing setup, then I would highly recommend you get the standard Ascent and then start from that platform. At that point, there's no reason to spend the extra money. The good news is both of these trucks are great choices. You could not go wrong with either one of them. I will have a link to them in the video description to both of them where you can pick them up. If you have any questions or comments about what I did, do you think I did anything wrong in this video? Do you think my opinion between these two trucks is somehow wrong and for some reason? Leave them down in the video comments. I'm happy to engage with you down there and talk about what you think maybe some differences are and why a person should get one versus the other. If you're curious in anything else I've done with this Redcat Ascent, there'll be a whole playlist popping up to your right over here. I hope to see you there. Thank you and goodbye.